Hello and welcome to week 3 of Health 402, Research Methods in Public Health Settings. To start the module for this week, I'm going to scroll down to the week 3 link and click that, and it will take you to our week 3 module. So here's our week 3 module. You can click the overview page to get started. This week, we're going to be talking about study designs. So we covered at a very, very high level in Health 318, we covered study designs, but in this module, we're going to go into way more detail in terms of what we covered in 318. So we talked about just a few study designs in 318, but we're really going to expand on that and go into more detail in terms of what we're going to cover this week. So this week, you're going to complete the module. You'll go through that module and complete all of the reading and the videos on the module. And then you're also going to read chapters 4 and 5 of your text. I know 2 chapters sounds like a lot, but remember, you've already learned about study designs. So some of this is going to be review. Some of the material will be new. But again, you have 2 chapters to read because some of it is review, so it shouldn't feel that overwhelming once you actually get started with the reading. You also have a discussion that you will reply to. You'll have an initial post due on Thursday and then a reply post due on Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a moment. You also have a quiz that you'll need to complete by Sunday. Please make sure to complete all of the module material as well as the readings before you sit down to take that quiz. And also make sure you're working on the literature review assignment. It is due October 22nd. I have finished grading those, so you should be able to view in the comments on your assignment any feedback that I provided. The feedback includes any refinements to your research question. Also, I've let you know if the articles that you selected are a good fit for your literature review assignment. Some of you might be good on articles, but some of you might need to identify different articles based on that feedback. Please start working on that literature review assignment now. I know October 22nd seems like a long ways away, but it's really not. Come to office hours if you have questions. I am happy to help you with whatever you need on the literature review assignment. If you need help finding articles, just let me know how I can help. And then we also have labs scheduled for this week. If you're in the Monday lab, you'll come to Monday, and then also the Friday lab. That lab is going to cover research design. So we'll talk about that in lab in more detail. So this is your discussion number 3. It is going to cover the research designs. So by Thursday, you need to make your initial post. I want you to think about what you're planning to do for your research proposal, which is your final assignment for the course. I want you to state your research question. So what is your research question for the research proposal? It may have changed since you originally created that research question based on the feedback I gave you on the first lab. So make sure that you clearly state your current research question. And also note that it is possible that you can change or update it for your research proposal assignment. But please tell the class what your current research question is. And then I want you to tell me what research design you're planning on using and why in terms of that research proposal. So remember, your research proposal, you're actually going to propose a research study. I want you to tell me what research design that you are currently thinking about using and justify why you're thinking about using that particular research design. Make sure to clearly state if the design is observational or experimental, as well as the specific design. So, for example, if I'm thinking about a cross-sectional study, I could say that I am thinking about using an observational cross-sectional study design. As a reminder, surveys are not a study design. That's one thing I hear students say a lot, is that they're going to use a survey design to collect their data. Surveys are a great data collection tool, but they're not actually a study design. And then I want you to tell me a limitation and a strength. Make sure you state one of each to the study design that you selected. You need to tie that limitation and that strength back to your actual research question. So it can't just be like general statements about a strength and a limitation of those that particular study design. It needs to actually tie back to your research proposal. So let's say that my research question, for example, is what health beliefs are associated with flu vaccine uptake among pregnant women in California? Let's say that I am thinking about using an observational design, specifically a cross-sectional study. I am going to pick that because I just want to know, are those particular health beliefs, is there an association with vaccine uptake? A limitation and a strength. One of the big limitations is that I am just looking at associations, right? A cross-sectional study is collecting data on health beliefs and vaccine uptake at the same time. So I'm just able to look at associations, and therefore I can't really tell for sure if those beliefs actually predict vaccine uptake. In terms of the strength of that approach, it's just data collection at one point in time. So I only have to collect data from participants at one point in time. I'm making it a very time efficient approach. So I just need to collect information from pregnant women on their health beliefs and their vaccine status at one particular time, making it a very time effective approach to answering my research question. And then by Sunday, you need to reply to your classmates' post. So provide at least one suggestion for your classmate based on their post. So for example, you might have suggestions clarifying their research question. Maybe they said they're looking at the relationship between parental beliefs, parental health beliefs, and HPV vaccine uptake among adolescents in California. Well, maybe you could ask them, what do you mean exactly by adolescents? Is there a specific age group that you're looking at? Maybe they proposed a research design and you think another research design would be more appropriate. You could also suggest that as well. So maybe, for example, if we go back to the original example of looking at health beliefs and the association between flu vaccine uptake in pregnant women, maybe someone proposed a longitudinal study. You wouldn't really need a longitudinal study if you're just looking at associations between those health beliefs and flu vaccine uptake in pregnant women. So maybe you could say, have you considered a cross-sectional study design in place of a cohort study, since you don't really need a cohort study to answer that research question. I also want to remind you all to be respectful when responding to your classmates. A lot of you are still in the process of refining your approach to your research proposal, so this is a really great opportunity to get feedback from the people in your class and your peers who are all working on the same assignment. So that's pretty much it for your module this week. Again, you're going to be going over the different kinds of research designs. You're going to learn about observational research designs. We're also going to cover experimental designs, and then we're also going to touch on qualitative research. We're going to cover that in more detail later on in the quarter, but you'll learn just a little bit about that in this module. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop by my office hours. Again, those are on Zoom on Mondays from 3:10 to 4, and then on Thursdays from 2:10 to 4.